Welcome to our new podcast, Kidswear Therapy. If you're listening, remember to hit the subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. Kidswear Therapy is a safe space to discuss the ups and downs, the positives, and the irritations of the kidswear industry. So join Linda, myself, and our wonderful guests on Kidswear Therapy. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Katie.
Did you have a good Christmas?
Oh, the turkey was lovely, yeah. As
wink,
always.
wink.
I love my Christmas dinner.
Right, so we're here today to talk on Kidswear Therapy about 2023. So we're doing a bit of a year review of what's gone on. Obviously, centering a little bit around obviously kids fashion, which is, and the kidswear industry as well. So that actually takes in loads and loads of other, attributes to it. So brilliant. So I think first of all, Linda, we're going to start out with what caught your eye in kidswear this year?
Well, to begin with, there were lots of little brands, lots of little new brands. But there was one fairly big one, which was Maison Ava. And they were quite impressive. They're based in LA, and it's very much the kind of clothes that if you were taking your children to a premiere, you might dress them in. But at the same time, there was something quite cool about it.
Yeah.
So I thought they were good. And then we started off the year in SIF in Copenhagen, SIF Kids, and we found a brand called Ace and the Harmony. This was a very together guy who'd started working in menswear and branched off to do his own kids line. And I think he's one to watch for sure.
Yeah, no,
what did you like?
Yeah, you're right. Their stand was amazing, wasn't it? And the whole idea, like, it was really lifestyle-y, wasn't it? It was like buying into like the whole lifestyle of it. And it was very minimalist, wasn't it, actually, his label? But it
was very well thought out. And there was even a little booklet accompanying the collection. And that was very thought out too. So he's got the marketing side. He's got the design side. The quality was great. At the moment, it's quite simple, just a few lines, but I think it will expand. So he's one of my tips to watch in 24.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking as well, like in 2023, I think it was the year as well that it was just consolidated some of these Scandi brands that are just got an absolute following, like them now, like Lywood, and I can never say it's what's it, Conslon, I can never say it, okay, but
Congeslot or something.
But these brands are just getting huge, they really are. Like, you cannot go into a children's store without seeing something Lywood. It's like a Lywood beaker or a Lywood, they're huge. So I think that it was really interesting with that just seems to be, I mean, they just cannot make enough in the year as well, because they're not doing seasonal collections as well. When I talk to, I'm just going to say KS. When I talked to KS years ago, part of their business model as well was never really doing trends or anything. They would always do these little capsule collections all the way on. So they're always offering newness through it to their, and also quite interesting, they had kind of limited numbers as well initially, which meant that their retailers very quickly snapped up. So they were like, right, okay, well, I'm going to get this newness, and there's very limited amount of people that would have it. On the other
that's
side,
a bit like fashion is. Some of the big names in fashion are operating like that now as well.
Yeah, I think it's the way forward. I really do, and I mean, it's really hard. It's really hard for small brands to do that, because for manufacturers to take, with minimums and to actually get, to book in the time, it's really hard for them to do that. So I don't know.
This is where local manufacturing could come in.
Yeah, and actually this is another thing that I've seen is a lot of brands that have their own manufacturing facilities are the ones that are really surviving at the moment, that are doing because they're overseeing all that, and they're because the minute it starts it's pushing up their prices, isn't it? When at the moment with inflation, but if you can actually oversee that yourselves and take control of that, is definitely helping with all the problems that everybody has at the moment.
Do you have a favourite brand of the year or something that caught your eye?
Well, I have. So it's another one I can't say. I really love the it's the South Korean brand. It's Mono Happy Popo.
Don't even ask me to say that.
But it was just like, it was so beautiful, the intarsia and like the chickens, and it's really well designed and it's really well executed. So, and it was funny when we saw them, I think as press, everybody went a little bit nuts for them. And actually they did, I'm seeing now that collection has been picked up loads in stores, actually. I'm seeing it kind of coming through. So that one, and then is it the Sunday Collective and Cause I Said So are two brands that I think are really...
Did you see them in Paris? Because I don't remember seeing them.
I saw the Sunday Collective, I saw in New York. I think that they were in Paris as well. And I saw Cause I Said So, I definitely saw in Paris.
Yeah.
And I do think that they're I don't know, it's really kind of fun, their clothing, and really... and then their visuals are really good as well. So that I feel like we always say that about the complete package. I just feel like their offering is really good, So, and then I've got one other brand which was is a product which is Twee, and it's sidewalk chalk. That it's and it's made into, so they have like, it's like giftables basically, and it's like you can get them, they're the universe, they're like Saturn or like all these different planets in a box, and so you can draw on the sidewalk, but it's just so beautifully done, like it's vegetable dyes and just beautiful packaging. Just everything about it is really well thought out. So I saw them in New York and I just fell in love with them.
Of course,
so how about you? Any more?
There's
Any
a lifestyle
brands?
product that we saw a year ago, and we've probably forgotten because we saw it last January. Staplestein.
Staplestein. They seem to be doing really, really well with it was interesting, wasn't it?
Interlocking blocks that you can use for many ways. Kids can play with them in all sorts of ways. They can be used as stools or rocking things, and they were at a couple of fairs, and I have seen them on the internet quite a lot. So they seem to be funny. Doing...
They were interesting at Petit Bimbo because nobody knew what they were. Yeah, because they were like they had their stand was basically nothing, but just with these little domes, weren't they? And
kids were really drawn to them.
Yeah,
there were constantly people that had taken their kids there. The kids were constantly playing with them. It was nice.
That's how I first saw them. Was I was wondering what the kid was doing, and then I straight away went over and was asking about it. But I think also they've done lots of different colorways now with it as well. So they've kind of extended it. Very interesting business, that one as well. Like the group of them to chat to, they seem to be kind of really entrepreneurial with everything that they're doing. So did you see the cowboy boots? The boots.
I don't know. Maison Mangastan have been doing them for a while, haven't they?
Yeah. So that was another brand, Maison Mangastan, that I think has really developed in the past.
They've developed a lot.
Yeah, their clothing line is really lovely, like the prints and the cat and everything. Mind you, I'm obviously always a sucker for a cat, but
the sun hats even as well.
Yeah, the sun hats were brilliant at Playtime. They worked really well.
Look out for those coming in the spring.
Cool. So moving, obviously with kids fashion, it filters down, doesn't it? So what other brands have you really loved this year?
Oh, there is a new launch, just happened. Ridiculously expensive, Jacquemus.
Oh yes, yeah, I know.
But I'd like to see these top end brands. I mean, what seems to be happening now? It's kept a very small, limited production. The top-end brands just have it in their own boutiques. They don't particularly seem to be wholesaling. I think it's a real shame.
Yeah. No, I think it is a real shame. I mean, obviously, we went to Dior, didn't we, together? And seeing, and we had a great chat with the girl in Dior, didn't we?
Yeah.
And she was telling us about the couture dresses. And she showed us like some dresses that people could buy for their children. I mean, they were like, what was it? It was like £100,000.
£60,000, £130,000. And yeah. They don't need to produce many at that price to make your profit.
Yeah, but it's interesting though with these things is a friend of mine used to work for Dior in the couturier, and but it's like the work that goes into these pieces, because I know that people will be like, oh, that's ridiculous, £100,000 or whatever, and it does seem ridiculous, but actually it is, I guess, a complete work of art, isn't it?
Well, we have to say that was a couture dress.
Yeah, it was a couture dress.
You know, couture is, obviously it's going to be perfectly fitted and everything like that. So,
and you have to be invited as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll get that invite.
So I think that's most of us ruled out. Yeah. What about stores? You had a look around the stores, didn't you? And
I had a look around the stores.
Retail?
And I had a look around the stores recently, like the kind of the luxe multi-brand stores. Yeah. And I mean, obviously Harrods was like the biggest square footage, you know, and as you said as well, like lots of concessions. And interestingly, actually, I didn't say to you before that there's, you know, the brand Essentials. Have you heard of Essentials? So Essentials has got the children's line now, but I saw that seems to be in every luxe.
That's been around ages, Katie.
Yeah.
They just don't exhibit it anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But it was interesting. It seems to have a bit of a push though in the stores compared to like the stand, like it had like a really lovely stand.
Maybe they have a new agent we don't know about.
Yeah.
I think in the UK, particularly, getting an agent makes a lot of difference to your distribution and, you know, who buys and everything.
I mean, I guess as well, it's always the same as it's saying in Selfridges and places like that. There's, you know, I saw Caroline Bosmas, but it's such a small amount, isn't it? And it's great. It's great for brands to obviously be in the stores, and it's fantastic. But it's such a small collection in there to be sold. You know, it's not going to be your bread and butter, I don't think. No. What I have noticed, though, with retail this year is because obviously on the high street in lots of places, there's loads of shop space now that's empty. I have noticed that there's lots of smaller brands actually taking up a store now, having their own mono-brand store or flagship store themselves, because obviously it's great because at the moment there is some negotiation there.
I took a look at Battersea Power Station, you know, the whole revamp that's gone on there. I was not impressed, actually. It's so dark. It's really like, it's weird. It's like almost like you're underground. Everything, the walls are black and there's some great shops in there, but it all felt a little bit soulless. I mean, I don't think you can beat a high street, really.
No.
It felt a bit like you're in an airport terminal or, you know, something like that.
I got really excited this year, actually, when I was in the new St James's Centre in Edinburgh, and I was walking along, and just at the end of, in amongst, you know, there was like Aesop and there was a COS and there was all these, you know, stores, and then there was Scamp and Dude. Do you remember Scamp and Dude?
Yes.
Because obviously, you know, we know her from her children's line, but there seems to be that she's had a huge success with the women's line. So so that was really exciting. And what else have I noticed this year? The other thing that I guess that's been a huge thing has been circular fashion platforms. So obviously our friend Shosh with Kidswear Collective, I think that she's pretty much acing it with it, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. And buying second hand as well, vintage.
Yeah.
It's had a good year, I think. A friend of mine uses it constantly. And she's very much, that's too expensive. I'm not getting that. What something positive that's happened in the world this year?
So when I was looking at this question, I was thinking, so I watched, I don't know about you, but I watched the Women's World Cup and I got so into it.
No, I didn't. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
It was really good. And everybody, just the enthusiasm for women's football, and it's annoying to say women's football, isn't it? Because like football here is like, it's just, I mean, it's enormous, isn't it? And the fees that the men get paid, and I just felt that it's just the recognition that the women got for for their skills and everybody behind them was really amazing. And it annoys me that I was listening to a story the other day that there was a mum was talking about her daughter, and she played for like a women's team, but I don't know, say it was Manchester United or something, so like a big team, and she was paid £6,000 like a year, and then obviously had to manage playing.
That's a bit like rugby used to be.
Yeah. Exactly. So she's paid, and then she's working a full-time job, and then you just think in the pay gap between that, between footballers that are paid 100,000 male football a week, but
you know why, Katie? Because it's more people watch, more people pay per view.
Yeah, but what they're
everything.
trying to argue for now is obviously there is a lot more sponsorship, and because the World Cup, it really did up the profile of women's football, and so it's trying to get that money towards to the players. So yeah, I thought that was really positive. And a long time in coming. There we go.
Well, I wasn't even allowed to play football at school. I don't know about you, but
really?
we played netball and hockey and football. Yeah. There was no mention. You weren't allowed to at all. So that's quite amazing to see that change.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, at the girls' school, I think that they had, in primary school, the boys were allowed to play football and the girls had to go do netball. Yeah. And I think Lulu might have complained about it. So I was like, right on, Lulu. So, yeah.
So even now. Well, I only had one thing down for something positive. No, I had two things down for something positive that's happened in the world. They don't need much chatting around. Boris Johnson's downfall. And my other one was David Tennant's return as Doctor Who. He's my favourite Doctor Who.
Oh, I
Have
love
you not?
Him. No, do you know, Linda, I once saw him in the park in Kelvin Grove, right? I was walking up to university and it was like early-ish in the morning, and he was in, it's so exciting when I say, he was like in a kind of trench coat, a bit like you wear in Doctor Who.
Looking in character.
Yeah, he was sitting on a bench and I was walking past and I was like, is that David Tennant? And I got so excited, I didn't say anything to him, but I was really excited just to see him because I love him.
Then you looked for the aliens.
Yeah. Straight right in Glasgow, there's lots of us coming out in Kelvin Grove Park. Enough said. Right, so what else have we got here? Cultural hits, Linda.
Movies.
Movies, yeah.
I only went to the movies once. And that was to see Barbie.
Like everyone this year.
Yeah. It was Barbie or Oppenheimer, wasn't it? That was the summer battle.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Barbie, fun. Go see it. Yeah.
Actually, it was fun, but also it did have a really good kind of message, didn't it? It was I thought it was good. It wasn't just, it was very well directed.
It made me cry.
Poor Barbie.
I was like, I wasn't expecting that.
I like the crazy Barbie. The one that was all the
crazy Barbie and Ken.
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah. Ken was brilliant.
The Kenergy, that actually sparked a whole word this year, didn't it? Kenergy, you've got the Kenergy. Well, Well, I was looking at this because I was like trying to cheat because I realised like I don't know if I watch so many films now as in series, and I'm going to cheat on this one. So series was Succession. I think.
I mean the final season. Yeah. And we're both watching. What is it? Billions as well.
Billions as well. Yeah. Well, they're quite similar, aren't they? But it was very, very good. And then, did you know, Linda, when we were looking this up, there's a film called Chicken for Linda.
No.
No? And apparently it was like the Critics' Choice at the Cannes Festival. And it's an animation.
Wow.
Yeah, so I reckon we should watch that, and then we'll
definitely got to check out Chicken for Linda.
Chicken for Linda. Apparently,
is it Spanish?
I don't know actually. I need to know a bit more about it. But we will. I'm going to watch it this weekend. Chicken for Linda. Oh,
fabulous! Let me know.
And then what?
Funnily enough, I've got chicken tonight.
Oh, Chicken for Linda on Friday night.
Yeah.
Right. What about music?
Music, well, I just heard, as I was scanning through adult fashion things, as you do, the finale music for Gucci was called Ancora, and it was an updated mix by Mark Ronson, and everybody went wild for the music. Not the clothes so much, but the music. It was a big, big hit.
Can you imagine being the designer and everybody like the big thing that's on the news or like that's on TikTok or Instagram is like the music is like that's what they take out of it.
But it also gave rise to the blood red colourway. So, the deep, deep reds that we think we're going to see much more of if for winter 24. This was the show that really covered those
this is
red
Linda's
variations.
Forecast, people. It's this oxblood red. She's telling you now.
Yeah,
Fall winter
telling
24.
You now. What did you like music-wise?
Well, this has been a revelation to me this year. So my eldest, Lulu, is 15 now. And so obviously with cars now, your phones, pair up with your radio. God, it sounds so old, with your thingy that plays the music. So she plays her song list, or these lists that she makes, and she's really into rap music, right? And it's really sweary. It's like really sweary, like so sweary. Some really rude stuff, but it's brilliant music. Honestly, it's so good. And it's like, who is it? I actually had to ask Richard who it is because I don't even know who the people are. So it's Mac Miller and Childish Gambino. But now as well, like we've got quite a big bass in our car, and like I find when I drive her to the tutors on Monday, like I'm driving back and we've got this like bass going through. So I think
you can hear that from the outside as well.
Yeah, totally. But I think
when you drive through the village, you'll be going boom, 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 boom.
But I think I'm living vicariously through her though with it. But the funny thing is, we had friends the other day that were in the car, and I was like, don't put on the music.
Yeah.
They're going to think we're terrible parents. Anyway, things change.
There is one rap, although soft rap, I would say. Ray, Escapism. I loved that track.
Oh.
That was a year ago, really. It hit number one in Jan 23, I think. And
so my recommendation
I thought was fabulous.
Is Lulu's playlist for 2023.
Yeah.
It got us through like so much like journeys and traveling. And
maybe she can make a Spotify of it.
Yeah. And then I'll put a little disclaimer.
She has.
I'm like, she's such a lovely girl.
The big story of the year, Midjourney, AI photography.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so it's getting so good. I've been able to tell. You look at fingers, you look at, there's certain things, teeth. And now it's getting so good, it's getting really hard to tell. It's quite scary, actually. Because will we ever know what is real ever again?
Well, Richard tried to show me as well. He was trying to generate a cat, an AI cat. And it was the ugliest cat because he was like, look at this. This is so cool. This is so cool. And he should did all the stuff he needs to do. I think it was in Photoshop or something like that. That he was making this AI cat that we needed for something. And I was like, that is the worst cat. So maybe, I mean, I don't know.
I think you have to work with it. Don't you? But there are people working with it that go through 10, 15, 20 times, but then they'll get something at the end of it. And once they've got it, they can just make it do anything. So.
Oh, it's all about the prompts.
Yeah. I mean, I've not investigated it. I can't be bothered with all that now. But a lot of photographers are using it. So.
Yeah, no, I to be honest, I'm back to IG again. I think like both of our feeds probably all the time are like AI creatives. And actually, you say some of them are amazing. You know the one that I posted the other day, which was it was like a Lego Hermes, like a Birkin bag, and it was brilliant. You know, it was just. It's just great.
I've posted a couple of them, but I make sure to say it's AI. But often people now there's a hashtag Midjourney. If you ever see that hashtag on an Instagram post, then that's an AI post. People aren't actually owning up to it, but they will hashtag the Midjourney.
All right, okay. That's a good
something
thing
to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, when I post about it, I always say it's AI because actually people just don't realise, do they? So I had to say that was because I said Dear Santa on the post because I would want one, but obviously it doesn't actually exist, guys. It's AI. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. So trend for 2023 to forget.
The mischief red cartoon boots.
What were those? I don't think I've even saw them.
Oh, they're all over the internet, Katie. Okay. They're like massive cartoon foam moulded red boots.
Oh, I know what. Yes, of course I know. Yes, yeah. I guess they're like Kanye West kind of stuff, aren't they? Because you know, with his kind of,
Yeah, you could see him wearing them in black.
Yeah, actually, maybe we should say the trend to go is Kanye West because, honest to God, like he's gone. Some of the stuff like with his wife is just like, it's frightening. Oof. But my thing is this cottage core thing. What is it? I'm over it. Can't be bothered with it. I hate it as a title as well. Cottage core. Ugh. So that's gone. I put that in the bin. And then trend to remember. What trend to remember?
Oh, quiet luxury. It's basically what we've always called classic, and it's been renamed, and it's a safe option, and it's been renamed quiet luxury. But basically, it's things that always were known as classics. Classics are useful. Classics in luxury fabrics, fabulous, but they aren't the be all and end all. And it's kind of been promoted as this is all you will ever need, in your life. Buy quiet luxury, you never have to buy another coat again. No, not true.
See, I love that, but it can be boring though. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. People get bored.
Yeah, I love that because it is so lovely to have like a classic trench coat, and it's so lovely to have and you do stuff like that, don't you? You go, right, okay, well, I've got a lovely black leather jacket, but if you just stuck to that the whole time, it'd be so cool.
I think there are swings. I mean, I've been through this quite a few times where you have a decorative phase and then you'll go to a minimal phase. And then it will go back a little bit more wacky and decorative, and then it will go back to minimal. So
my favourite phase of yours is the purple Dries van.
Oh yeah, that's out
like the big giant purple. I remember you walking down Rue de Turenne in Paris with that on, just looking like an absolute fashionista. I was like, yeah. Smudge Tika has arrived. I actually saw that video the other day of you and me dancing at you remember Kids Show? I remember when we went there and they had we were the last people in, and they had cheese and things, and they tried to give us a whole cheese, and we were like, we can't take a whole cheese with us to the next place,
and we were going
can
off
eat
to a
lot
party.
of it.
That was like 3 weeks pre-COVID or something. It was just before COVID hit really badly.
That
was the last party. That was in the Bain Douche in Paris.
Wasn't it? It had a swimming pool in it. What was it?
Lebendusch.
Oh, cool. I remember that was a party.
Yeah,
That was fun.
that was.
Right, let's move on.
That was a disco party. Moving on. What would you like to change in 2024?
What would I like to change? Oh yeah, I think I mean who wouldn't say about you've got to touch upon the wars that are happening, you know. I think, you know, we're trying to keep everything upbeat in this pod, and but yeah, I think this year and, you know, last year as well, but I think we would like the wars that are going on to cease, basically.
Peace. We would like peace for the world.
We want peace. I know. And actually, not being like a Miss Universe about this. I actually blooming do. Yeah. Most surprising thing that happened.
I've got in 2023, Ozempic, the weight loss drug.
Oh God, yeah. I was watching Billions. Watching a program.
Did you see the weight loss of that guy in Billions?
The whole of Hollywood, anytime I see anyone on a program, like if it's more up to date and they're not even like slightly a little bit thinner, they don't look recognizable as the person. Like, it's absolutely
Isn't it weird
shocking.
with a face though? It's like somebody's got the face and gone like that to it. They've got like stretched the face longer and thinner. And it's like, wow.
But I'm wondering whether it's because I think it's so effective, right? That the weight loss is really quick and really, really dramatic, which is always really bad thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially at a certain age, because then it's like, it's not the best, is it? Like you need to kind of work at gym and do all that. This she says you need to do that, but you know what I mean.
I think you just have to do it slowly. Yeah. I don't think a fast is, because it comes off fast, it goes back on fast.
But is it not problematic for the diabetics that actually need Ozempic? Because like, is it not like there was a shortage, wasn't there, as well?
Yeah,
but actually the whole
shortage
of Hollywood has gone nuts for it and everybody's gone super thin. So yeah, that was crazy. My one was Elon Musk changing Twitter to X. Because it's like, it's impossible to say like X. So you always say X, formerly known as Twitter.
Known as Twitter, yeah.
So I don't really know if that's really working for him.
Or Twitter, now called X.
Yeah, but like X.
Yeah.
Anyway, that annoyed me. And it was.
But this is the man that gives his offspring numerals as names.
Yeah, I know, it's very strange.
What else? More travelling while we still can for 2024. Yeah. Because things are getting hairy out there.
Things are getting hairy out there. What did we have as well? It's like, what was our last question, Linda?
What are you looking forward to 2024?
Go on, Linda. What are you looking forward to in 2024?
More travelling. What I still can.
Yeah. So where are you going to?
I'd like to go to Porto. You've been, haven't you? I've never been there.
Do you want a companion? I'll come with you.
Oh, okay. But don't you go every year for your summer holiday?
Not Porto. I go to the Algarve.
I think Portugal needs a kids' fair because I think they have great brands coming out of Portugal, but there isn't really a kids' trade fair for them.
They tried with the Portugal Fashion Week. They had a kids section and everything, but I think that they were worried, like the brands that they would have had going to it, say, I don't know, Wolf and Rita and all these brands and Baby Organic. I mean, there's so many that are fantastic, like really good level of brands. I think that the brands just needed reassurance that people would come. You know, and I actually, and this is actually something Petra and I really said at the time was, look, you have the fair and you invite people will come. You don't need, it's really, you don't need much of persuasion to say, right, come to Port. And, you know, and you can do it for one night. I mean, but it is It is really great. And actually what's really interesting is the manufacturers. So obviously there's lots of manufacturers there. And actually a lot of the manufacturers have some really good brands, like house brands, children's house brands. So like say somebody like Weedable, it's so they, I can't remember what the name is, the manufacturers at the moment, but they manufacture for company, lots of companies like White Company, lots of different things. So their product is so beautiful. I don't know if you ever been to their stand at Pitti or anything. It's really obviously it's very classic, but it's really well done. It's really beautiful. So Porto, we should go do the podcast in Porto.
We should. We could get some great people, great guests there.
There we go. Yeah. Any sponsorship, guys, you know where to come.
Yeah. Hello, so anything Portuguese else in traveller aboard.
Anything else in 2024 apart from travelling?
I don't know. I think that this year has been so up and down, so dramatic. I think at the beginning of the year, we were really looking forward to it. Okay, we've got over COVID, people are travelling more and everything. And then boom, one thing hits, boom, another thing hits. So I'm hoping for a calmer year in 2024.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah, I think even with natural disasters as well this year, it's been really, it's like Turkey, there's earthquake, so it has been a tricky year. And so looking forward to maybe...
fewer surprises.
Yeah, very well said. I hate surprises, Linda. Like the least amount of surprises.
I like to know what's happening, where I'm going, when. I like to be organised. I like to have my schedule set. I don't like a train strike suddenly cropping up in the middle of it.
So I guess finishing up, because obviously it's going to change to like the new year 2024.
Yeah.
And obviously both of us will be traveling to cover the trade shows and the wholesale selling season, which is autumn, winter, fall, winter 24. So what shows will you be at, Linda?
I'll be at SIF and Pitti. What shows will you be doing, Katie?
Cool. So I will be at Pitti, Playtime Paris and Playtime New York this season.
So we cover it between us. Yeah. We cover the ground.
So we will cover the ground and be able to, and actually, excitedly, we should be doing a Kidswear Therapy podcast live at
We're hoping.
So, yeah. And Richard in my ear says, chicken for Linda is French. Linda de poulet.
Linda veut de poulet.
Oh, veut wants chicken. Oh, Linda wants chicken. Well, Linda's having chicken tonight. So, Linda, enjoy that chicken. Thanks, everyone, for listening to our year-end review. Hopefully you will have...
And a happy new year to you all.
Yeah, happy new year. And hopefully look up some of the brands that we spoke about in the beginning. They obviously all need your support. So happy new year, guys.
Bye, everyone.